Okay, so that's your stain applied. Now, if you decide that you want it, okay, a couple things. If you decide you want it a little bit lighter, or if you decide that, if you find out that you have a little bit of maybe some streakiness in your stain for some reason, at that point you can take some water and put water on a rag, and you can wipe some stain off with the water. Remember, before we talked about it's a water reducible wiping stain. Okay, so we actually can re-wet it and wipe it off. Now that you're not going to wipe it all off. Okay, you're just going to wipe some of it off. But this is one way that you can lighten the stain if you feel that the stain is just a little bit too dark for you, or maybe has a little bit too much color for your tastes. Okay. So in that case. Okay, so that's one way that we can wipe some of the stain off and give ourselves a little bit lighter finish. Now, say perhaps we want to just, go nuts and you really want to wipe a lot of it off. Or say, for instance, your stain dried a lot, and you feel it's pretty streaky. And you want to take a lot of your stain off and sort of start over again. Then what we'll do is we'll use some more water. And don't be concerned about this water raising the grain. We're not going to raise the grain in a manner that is going to make any difference at all, because it's such a dense wood. I'm just using my Scotch-Brite pad and just sort of scrubbing the finish with this water. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to re-wet the stain, and we're going to remove a lot of it. Now you see sort of like a lot's come off there, right? All right, so this is just another way of removing a lot of stain if we want it even lighter. Now look how light you are. So these are all ways that we can basically manipulate the color to give us the exact finish and the exact color we want, because, sometimes we're the pieces that we are trying to match. Some of them are darker, some of them are more opaque, some of them are really light. So what works for one person and for one piece might not be what the next person wants on their piece to match something else. So this is how light we can go, which is like mega low. I just wanted to basically give you an idea of how much manipulation you have with this. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to restain this and go back to the original stain that I have on here and show you that this is all you need to do now to go back. All we're going to do is apply the stain again in the same manner that I did the first time. So you can see how much control we have. We have like an incredible amount of control here over our actual color. Okay, always with the grain. Okay? Make sure you have perfectly straight lines. Try not to do this. You want to go perfectly straight. That way, if you ever do get any streaks with the stain, because the stain does have a lot of colorants in it. So if you leave a line of stain, as long as it's with the grain, you won't even notice it once you go ahead and you do the finishing. So just always want to make sure your lines are straight. Okay? So that's our coat of champagne stain. Now, if we want to go even one shade darker, we'll let this dry, and then we'll come back and apply a second coat. So you have all these different variations of color you can go with. You can wash it off with just water to get it lighter. You can wash it off with a scrubbing pad, a 3M Scotch Brite pad to get it super mega light. You can just apply it as is, which is typically what we suggest and what we do, right out of the bottle, one coat and you're done. Or you can go with 2 coats and get even a more opaque and a darker finish. So that's pretty much how easy this stain is to apply. So I think this piece we're going to just let go. We're going to let this dry. Now we can't follow this up with any finish until this is thoroughly dry.